Marhaba wa ahla wa sahla feekum. Hope you are all well and having a wonderful day. Welcome to another session of In Levantine Arabic. Today's session is part 2 from the previous session. We've looked at it, which was learning some new phrases that use the name of Allah in daily conversation. So these phrases are commonly used in Levantine Arabic in daily conversation. These phrases are used to reflect cultural and religious sentiments, and people tend to use it pretty much on day-to-day basis, depending on the circumstances. I really hope you enjoyed our first part. Now this is our second part. Let's have a look. Our first phrase is Allah yistor. Allah yistor. Allah yistor. And the meaning, which means may God or Allah protect us. In terms of the use, it's said in anticipation of something potentially dangerous or worrying, asking for Allah's protection or asking for God's protection. I've got an example here for you. في عاصفة قوية جاية الله يستر. في عاصفة is a storm. قوية strong. جاية coming. Allah يستر, may Allah protect us. So this is the phrase Allah yistor. Allah yistor. Our next phrase is Allah ybarek feeki. Allah ybarek feeki. Allah ybarek feeki, and that's if you're talking or addressing a woman. Allah ybarek feeki. However, if you're talking and addressing a man, you'd say Allah ybarek feek. Allah ybarek feek. Allah ybarek feek. In terms of the meaning, may God or may Allah bless you. May God or Allah bless you. In terms of the use, pretty much self-explanatory. So the use is commonly said in response to congratulation or a compliment, wishing the other person the same blessing in return. I've got an example here for you. مبروك على الشغل الجديد. And in response you would say Allah ybarek feek. So if somebody had congratulated you on the new job you've got, your dream job, fingers crossed, مبروك على الشغل الجديد. مبروك على الشغل الجديد. مبروك على الشغل الجديد. And in response you would say Allah ybarek feek if you're replying to a man, and you would say Allah ybarek feeki if the person who's congratulated you is a lady, is a woman. So you would use that depending who you're addressing. Our next phrase, pretty much the same. Allah yishfeeki. Allah yishfeeki, and that is if you're talking to a woman. Allah yishfeek. Allah yishfeek, and that is if you're talking to a man. And in terms of the meaning, may Allah or God heal you. And that is depends on the person you're talking to, because in Arabic, if you're talking to a man, you will use the below, and if you're talking to a woman, you will use the above. In terms of the use, is pretty much self-explanatory, as now we know the meaning. We use it in order to wish somebody a speedy recovery from an illness or injury, etc. And I've got an example here for you. سمعت إنك مريض. سمعت إنك مريض. I heard you're ill. Allah yishfeek, may Allah heal you. So سمعت إنك مريض. Allah yishfeek. Our next phrase is Astaghfirullah. 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 In terms of the meaning, which means I seek forgiveness from God or Allah. I seek forgiveness from God or Allah. In terms of the use, it's said and used when someone wants to repent or express regret for something wrong they have done, or sometimes after hearing something shocking or inappropriate. I've got an example here for you. Astaghfirullah, ما كان لازم أحكي هيك. Astaghfirullah, I seek forgiveness from Allah. ما كان لازم, I should not have. ما كان لازم, I should not have. أحكي, to say, to speak. هيك, like this, or on such manner, or on a certain way. Our next phrase is Allah yirda alayki. Allah yirda alayki. Allah yirda alayki, that is if you're talking to a lady, a woman. Allah yirda alayki. Allah yirda alayki. And if you're talking to a man, you would say Allah yirda alayk. Allah yirda alayk. Allah yirda alayk. And in terms of the meaning, it means may God or Allah be pleased with you or have you safe or keep you safe. In terms of the use, it's used to express an appreciation or an affection, often from parents or elderly to young people, to younger generation like the kids or grandkids, as a way of showing love and approval. I've got an example here for you. ساعدتني كتير, ساعدتني كتير, ساعدتني كتير. You've helped me a lot. Allah yirda alayk, Allah yirda alayk. May Allah be pleased with you, or may Allah keep you safe because you've been such a kind-hearted soul. We hope. So again, the phrase Allah yirda alayki for a woman, Allah yirda alayk to a man. Our next phrase is Allah ytawwel umrak, Allah ytawwel umrak, Allah ytawwel umrak, Allah ytawwel umrak. And that's if you're talking to a woman. If you're talking to a man, is below Allah ytawwel umrak, Allah ytawwel umrak, Allah ytawwel umrak. And the meaning, may God or Allah prolong your life, may you have a long, happy life. So that's the meaning, may you have a long, happy, healthy life. May God or may Allah prolong your life. And in terms of the use, as you see here on the screen, guys, this phrase is used often to wish someone a long, happy life, usually in response to a kind gesture or an expression of care. And we've got an example here for you. شكرا على مساعدتك, Allah يطول عمرك. شكرا على مساعدتك. Thank you very much for your help. شكرا على, thank you for. مساعدة is help. مساعدتك is your help. شكرا على مساعدتك. Allah يطول عمرك. May you have a long, happy, healthy life. So this is a really lovely phrase. Our next phrase is Allah ykhalleeki, Allah ykhalleeki. And that's if you're talking to a woman. Allah ykhalleeki, Allah ykhalleeki. So the kha is a little bit hard for you guys. It's quite common in German and Gaelic. So that could be easy for you, but it's just a bit of a practice. It's pronounced from the upper cavity or the upper lower cavity of your mouth, where the tongue or the back lobe of your tongue touches the upper cavity, and you make that sound. Allah ykhalleeki, Allah ykhalleeki, and that is if you're talking to a woman. Allah ykhalleek, Allah ykhalleek, Allah ykhalleek, and that is if you're talking to a man. And in terms of the meaning, it's pretty much used in conjunction with the previous one. And it means, may God or Allah keep you safe and happy and healthy. And in terms of the use, we used to express an affection, gratitude, and often in response to a compliment or a compliment to a good deed. It can also be used as a way to express a hope that someone stays safe after a long journey or stays in a good health. So again, as I mentioned earlier, we use it to express gratitude, and we use it on the meaning of may God keep you happy, healthy, and safe. So that is the overall meaning. I've got an example here below for you. الله يخليك, أنت دايما بتفكر فيي. الله يخليك, الله يخليك. أنت, you, دايما, always, بتفكر is thinking فيي, about me. You're always thinking of me. Our next phrase, الله يستر عرضك. الله يستر عرضك. Allah yistor irdak. And that is if you're talking to a woman. If you're talking to a man, you would say Allah yistor irdak. Allah yistor irdak. Allah yistor irdak. And in terms of the meaning, may God or may Allah protect your honor. And in terms of the use, this phrase is a strong expression used to thank someone or to plead for help or protection, emphasizing the seriousness or the importance of the situation. So sometimes when people go and ask for something really important, so they say, you know, I plead with you, or I plead with your honor, and the honor, it would be the elderly or the woman in that person's family. So there's nothing more precious than honor in Middle Eastern culture. So they go and plead, and they plead from that point, and then what they've come to ask for, hopefully it will be responded to appropriately. I've got an example here for you. Allah yistor irdak, ساعدني بهالمشكلة. Allah yistor irdak, please, may God, Allah protect you, honor. ساعدني, help me, بهالمشكلة, with this problem. So you're going for something really big. So this is not used lightly. It's only used for something like really serious, asking for protection, or paying for help, something really serious. So it kind of reflects on the importance of that situation. So you wouldn't use it lightly to go and change a tire, for example. So something would be really serious to use this phrase for. Also note, it's sometimes used as a compliment to a person of a higher status, or could be a normal person. I mean, not on higher status, but it's always used, to compliment on their honor, like, you are of such high honor. And this is something very important in Islamic and Middle Eastern culture. Our next phrase is Allah ykasser ideih. Allah ykasser, ykasser. Some of you might recognize it. It means to break. Ideih, his hands. Allah ykasser ideih. Allah ykasser ideih. And that's if you're talking to a man. If you're talking to a woman, you could just change the final ending. It's more like always the boys get really naughty. So it's always used and associated with boys because they're always mischievous and get to all sort of stuff. Girls could be as well. Don't get me wrong. But I think girls are more kinder. In terms of the meaning, here you go. May God or Allah break his hands. Expression is pretty much self-explanatory. May God or Allah break his hand. And in terms of the use, yes, it's a curse or an expression of an anger towards someone who has done something wrong or harmful, wishing them harm in return. So I've got an example for you. Allah ykasser ideih illi saraqni. Allah ykasser ideih illi saraqni. Allah ykasser ideih, may Allah break his hand. Illi, who has, or who, saraqni, stole from me. Allah ykasser ideih, illi saraqni, may God or Allah break his hand of the one who stole from me. Our next phrase, Allah ysabberak. Allah ysabberak. Allah ysabberak, and that's if you're talking to a woman. If you're talking to a man, Allah ysabberak. Allah ysabberak. Sabr, which means patience, by the way. Allah ysabberak. In terms of the meaning, it means may God or Allah grant you patience. And in terms of the use, it's pretty much self-explanatory once you know the meaning. It's used to be said to someone who's going through a difficult or rough time or facing a challenging situation. We use it to encourage them to be patient and strong. As we know what's currently is happening to the poor people in Palestine and Lebanon is absolutely heartbreaking, and to see the world go by without anything, that's more devastating, if I'm honest. And we've got an example here for you. Allah ysabberak ala hal-musibah. Allah ysabberak ala hal-musibah. Allah ysabberak, may God give you patience. Allah ysabberak, may God or Allah grant you patience. Ala, on. Hal-musibah, musibah is calamity. Ala hal-musibah, in this calamity. Great, guys. And with this phrase, I'll end today's session. I really hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. And if you did, as always, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share with your friends and family. So hopefully they as well enjoy as much as you are. Till next time, stay safe. Ma salama.